welcome back everyone. Let's get right into today's explainer, where we're digging into a seriously bone-chilling narrative from the 1111 files. We're looking at a story called The Dog at Blackwood Road. Now look, we all love our pets, right? But have you ever been sitting alone in your house at night, totally quiet, only to watch your dog just stare intensely at a completely empty corner of the room? It is a universally creepy experience that literally makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Well, today, we're exploring a story that takes that exact feeling and pushes it to its absolute most terrifying extreme.
So I really want to pose this question directly to you, right up front. People always say dogs can sense things humans just can't, right? Things hiding out there in the dark, things that were never really meant to be seen. But what if they don't just sense them? What if, by acknowledging the unseen, they actually lead those exact things right to your front door? Just keep that in the back of your mind as we unravel exactly what went down on Blackwood Road.
Okay, let's set the scene. Meet Ethan Carter. He's a 32-year-old paramedic who just moved into this creepy, super isolated rental house out near Blackwood Road. And riding shotgun with him is his loyal best friend, a golden retriever named Max. Now, this setup definitely relies on that classic horror trope. You know, the whole fresh start in a spooky, remote location. But in this case, the real emotional anchor of the story isn't just our main guy. It's the highly observant golden retriever right by his side.
But, as you might expect, this rental comes with a massive, glaring red flag. The landlord gives Ethan one incredibly specific, heavily ominous rule before handing over the keys and getting out of there. He tells him, if your dog starts barking at night, don't let him outside. I mean, wow. This rule just immediately establishes the stakes for us. We know right from the jump that the danger is tied to the night, it's tied to the outside, and most importantly, it is tied entirely to the dog's behavior.
All right, let's look at how unbelievably fast Ethan's situation escalates. Day one is just your standard moving day. But on night one, at exactly 3:13 a.m., that whole illusion of safety is just completely shattered. Max wakes up aggressively growling down a pitch-black empty hallway, and Ethan, who we know lives completely alone, hears these unmistakable phantom footsteps echoing upstairs. Yeah, the haunting has officially begun.
Naturally, this pushes Ethan to investigate on day two, which leads him up into the attic. And up there, he finds a series of deeply unsettling, hand-drawn pictures depicting this tall shadow figure standing right beside a dog. Accompanying these drawings is a chilling, repeated message scribbled out. He comes when the dog sees him. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates a terrifying shift in the narrative. The ghost isn't just haunting the house passively, it operates on this totally terrifying mechanic. It literally requires the dog's awareness to manifest.
And those manifestations? Yeah, they do not wait around. Soon after the attic discovery, a violent storm hits the area. And during this storm, Ethan looks out his window and spots her. The pale woman. Now, this isn't just some fleeting shadow in the corner of your eye. She's described as having completely black eyes and a deeply unnatural, sinister smile. She is just standing out there in the torrential rain, dead still, watching the house. Of course, no haunted house exists in a vacuum, so Ethan heads into town looking for some answers. At a local diner, a waitress ends up spilling the dark, kind of forgotten town legend. It turns out the whole area has this grim history tied to a murdered woman named Eleanor Briggs. And worse still, her story is directly connected to a string of unsolved disappearances all along Blackwood Road. So the town knows, they all know, there is a serious darkness rooted right in that specific stretch of land.
Armed with this new knowledge, Ethan heads back home. But the tension is at an absolute boiling point now. And here is where the story gets incredibly claustrophobic. Max actually stops barking at empty hallways. Instead, he begins barking directly at Ethan. Just imagine the panic of that for a second. But when Ethan looks into a nearby mirror, he realizes Max isn't barking at him at all. Reflected in the glass, standing perfectly motionless right behind Ethan's shoulder, is that exact tall shadow figure from the attic drawing.
Driven by just absolute pure terror at this point, Ethan unseals a hidden door he finds leading deeper into the basement, uncovering a stash of gruesome physical evidence. Down there, he finds stacks upon stacks of old dog collars, and scattered among them, right there on the floor, are human bones. This dramatically, and I mean drastically, shifts our whole understanding of the house. This isn't just a haunting anymore, it's a literal graveyard. Hidden among those bones are old newspaper clippings that finally reveal the full truth. A serial killer once occupied this very house.
But what's really fascinating here is the killer's weakness. He was deeply, deeply afraid of dogs. The clippings implied that the dogs could actually sense the lingering trapped spirits of his victims. He killed the dogs because they knew exactly what he was hiding in the walls and beneath the floorboards.
And this brings us to the most frantic, heart-pounding part of the explainer. The landlord's golden rule is finally broken. During another massive storm, Max breaks free and vanishes into the dark woods outside. Pure panic sets in as Ethan hears these distant, echoing whimpers coming from deep down Blackwood Road. Ethan is basically forced to make an impossible choice between his own safety and his best friend. And of course, he chooses to run out into the night after him. Ethan ventures deep into the thick, freezing fog of the woods. He finally catches up to Max, but the dog isn't looking at him. Max is staring dead-eyed at the empty space directly behind Ethan. In a totally horrifying climax, the pale woman appears mere inches away from Ethan's face, while the shadow victims, the trapped spirits of that serial killer, begin to silently emerge from the darkness all around them. They are completely helplessly surrounded.
But Max does exactly what any fiercely loyal dog would do. He violently attacks the entity. This moment of brutal, unexpected chaos creates a tiny, split-second window, allowing Ethan to break through the circle of spirits and escape the woods with his life. The next morning, this huge wave of relief washes over us. Max silently returns to the front door, absolutely covered in mud, but seemingly unharmed. The hero dog survived the night. However, the nightmare isn't actually over. To understand what really happened after they got back inside, Ethan decides to check the home security footage later on. The timestamp on the video reads 10:40 p.m. The camera shows the dark, quiet interior of the house. And there, slowly dragging itself out from the hallway, is the pale woman. She is literally inside the house, crawling directly toward Ethan's bedroom as he sleeps.
But honestly, the absolute most disturbing detail of this entire night is what the dog is doing. Max, the incredibly protective golden retriever who literally just fought a supernatural entity in the woods to save his owner, doesn't bark, he doesn't growl to wake Ethan up, he simply sits in the hallway and silently watches the pale woman crawl right past him. The landlord's rule was meant to protect the dog, and by breaking it, it seems like something fundamental in Max changed out there in those woods.
It leaves us with a deeply, deeply unsettling realization about the companions we trust so much in our own homes. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Would your dog protect you when the darkness comes, or would they warn you too late? Thank you guys so much for exploring this chilling narrative with me today. If you want more terrifying, true-style horror stories exactly like this one, make sure you subscribe to 1111 Files. Stay curious, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.